I will be doing a quick tank review for the German Tier 2 light tank, the PZ2. This vehicle, it is quite good. It is relatively mobile enough, have good front armor, while having a flak gun that can potentially kill a enemy tank quickly enough. Let's get into the vehicle stats now. Let's cover the vehicle stats. Firepower. You will be using the Flak 38 gun, which is not that bad when it comes to the stats. The good thing about the gun here is you can do a lot of damage per a minute with this gun if you can penetrate and hit the enemy tank with all of the rounds. The gun, it is quite quick to aim, have a good loading time. The pen and the rate of fire, it is quite good. So you can fire a lot of rounds within a minute with the proper setup for this tank. Unfortunately, the downside to the Flak 38, the accuracy, it is not that great, with a low damage amount done to the enemy tank when it comes to a single shell hitting it. So if you want to make use of the flak gun, you have to get into shorter combat distances with the enemy tank to fire the clip into the enemy tank. The gun depression, it is quite good, 10 degrees downward, so you can hill fight with this if you have to. While the gun elevation upward, it is good at 20 degrees. Now, the survivability of the tank. For a tier 2 tank, it is not that bad nor good. You don't have a lot of hit points, 170 hit points. That means you can be killed easily enough by a tier 2 or a tier 3 tank gun that can pen your armor easily enough. 30 millimeters of armor, tier 2s to tier 3 guns can penetrate you easily enough with that amount of armor in the front that you have. 30 millimeters of armor for the hull and for the turret. If you angle it just right, you will be able to ricochet low penning machine gun and even flak rounds fired from a tier 1 to tier 2 machines with that amount of armor in the front. If you just angle it to the left and to the right, that 30 millimeters of armor effectively becomes 30 millimeters plus. Side and rear armor, it is rubbish. All guns can penetrate the rear and side armor easily enough. 20 for the side for both. Hull, 15. Turret, 20. Now the mobility of the tank. For being a 10-ton tank, when it is fully upgraded, the machine, it is mobile enough with the 160 horsepower engine. So you can get from location A to B quickly enough if you have to, with 16.5 horsepower to 1 ton. That means, in theory, you can reach the 40-kilometer mark top speed when you're going in a straight line on flat terrain in theory. But most of the time you can reach the 40-kilometer mark when you're going downhill only. The reverse speed, it is good. The hull and the turret traverse, they are both good, so the machine can turn around quickly enough if it have to. The concealment for the tank, as this is a light tank and it is low to the ground somewhat, you have a good camo rating. If you want to improve the camouflage rating, use camouflage perks, camouflage paint, and camouflage net, while using the terrain around you to remain hidden off of the enemy radar a little bit more longer. Now, the view range and the signal range, it is not that bad nor good. It is about 330 for both of them. Let's cover the research part of the tank now. The research for the tank, it's an easy tank to go through. To get to the tier 3 machine afterwards, you will have to research two pieces of equipment on the tank, mainly the second engine and the 2 cm KWK-38 gun. Let's begin off with the tracks. You can use the first pair of tracks throughout the entire grind still to mount all of the equipment onto the tank. 35 for the haul traverse, it is not that bad. But if you want to have a slightly better haul traverse, from 35 to 40 for the second pair of tracks, get the second pair of tracks for that reason alone. The engines. Let's cover that quickly. You will have to research the second engine anyways to move on to the PD3A, which is a good light tank to use if you know how to use it properly. The first engine, it is quite good still. The 130 horsepower engine. You can use it throughout the entire grind if you want to. The tank will be mobile enough still with it. The second engine, if you are going to be using it, this 160 horsepower engine will allow you to have a better horsepower to ton ratio with this engine when it is used. That 30 extra horsepower does make a difference. Unfortunately, this engine, it is usable on the tank only. You have one radio to use. The FUG-5 radio, use it. The turrets, you have two to use. You can use the off-B turret throughout the entire grind if you want to. But if you want to have better stats for the tank overall, get the off-F turret, as you have better armor on the turret, more view range, hit points, a better turret traverse, and better gun handling stats as well. You have 3 guns on this tank. My recommendation is you research the KWK-38 and the Flak-38 as they are transferable to the other vehicles within the German tech tree in the lower tiers. All of the guns here have roughly the same stats. They get better over time from the K30 up to the Flak-38. The KWK-30 and 38 have roughly the same stats, but the 38 have the better accuracy, 57.57 compared to 0.59, with the better time delay in between the rounds fired, from 0.21 to 0.13. The aiming time, it is better though. It is a second faster. The KWK-38 have roughly the same stats as the Flak-38, but you have a better pen and it's more accurate. So, the Flak-38 gun, this is the best gun on the tank here, as you can pen most tanks easily enough with this gun, compared to the KWK-38, which you will have problem penning enemy tanks at times with the pen it have for regular AP. 23 compared to 39. The PD2G and the PD3A, both of them are good tanks if you know how to use them properly. Now, I will be covering the consumables, the ammunition layout, the equipment, and how are you going to be using this tank. Let's begin with the consumables. At this tier, you may or may not want to use them. If you are, I would recommend using the first aid kit and a repair kit. You have a good amount of ammo to use, 320 rounds, so most of the time you will not run out of ammo in this tank. The primary ammo type you will be using it is AP. AP rounds, you can pen most tanks easily enough if you know where to shoot at it with this ammo type. APCR, it's up to you if you want to use this ammo type or not, as the regular AP have more than enough pen to penetrate most tanks at this tier still. APCR will be able to pen some of the heavily armored tier 3 tanks that you will encounter. Besides that, APCR, it is relatively cheap at this tier. 400 credits for a single round, or 1 gold. For a single clip of 10 rounds, for a PCR, it will cost you 4,000 credits or 10 gold. I find AP, for the most part, will do the job, penning most of the tanks I will encounter. The equipment that I am using to improve the tank performance, the light spall rammer to increase the chance of the equipment members not getting injured, while getting me additional protection from ramming explosion from the enemy tanks. The enhanced springs will allow me to have a better torsion bar, so I will not get myself tracked that often, with the increased chance of not getting tracked. The enhanced springs will allow me to take half of the damage that I would take if I fall off a ledge. Vents to improve the tank performance and the crew by 5%. The other pieces of equipment that you can use if you want to is the enhanced gunning drive to decrease the aiming time, coated optics to have a bit of a increase in the view range area. The other pieces of equipment that it would be a bad idea to use would be the toolbox, binocular telescope. It is up to you if you want to use a camouflage net, the enhanced springs, or even the spall liner. As a tier 2 tank, you have tier 2 matchmaking, from tier 2 to up to tier 3 maximum. If you play towards the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses, you can do quite well in this tank. The primary role for the tank that you're going to be using it as, you are going to play this as a front line light tank. So within the short distances you're going to be firing at the enemy tank, you can kill them quickly enough with the flak gun that have a high rate of fire per a minute for the gun to finish them off quickly if you have to. I have one replay to show you how well you can do in the PZ2. Let's go to that replay now. This replay, I will show you how well you can do in the PZ2 when you are playing towards its strengths. The first thing that I will show you is how fast you can actually reach the 40 kilometer mark in this tank. Assuming you are on flat terrain and going in a straight line, you can reach that if you push the acceleration button on. Now I will speed the replay up a bit, as for the first part of the match I didn't do that much. My team here took the hill easily enough, but during the time I was on the hill there, I saw that the enemy forces were pushing towards the ally base. So me and the Light Vic, we are going to be clearing what tanks are in our way while we make our way towards the allied base. I am checking these roads to see if there's anything there. Pay attention to how I try to fully aim onto the target here to get the most amount of damage done possible to the enemy tank with the clip that I fire into them. By controlling the the amount of flak I shoot into a enemy vehicle within a short amount of time, I can actually get the 10 rounds to hit them if they want to go to the side of the vehicle or where it hit the vehicle to pin the vehicle. The flak gun is more accurate when you're up close and personal, or in short combat distances here, like I am doing to this T7 combat car. I am not that far away, so I got most of the flak to hit it. Now it is just me and the T7 car. There's the FCM on the enemy team to finish off. This vehicle, if you are in a group of allied tanks around you, you can do quite well in this tank, especially if you can get to a tank rear or sides, where you can pen them easily enough. So having allies around you, where they can keep a enemy tank busy with them face hugging your allies for you to get to their side or rear. This is what the PD2 can do quite well, if the opportunity arises for you to do so. I am checking the base area quickly enough. The T7 car there spotted the FCM, kept it busy enough for me to fire 2 clips into the FCM rear and side. This replay I did quite well for receiving no damage whatsoever besides the minor track damage there. For the 4 kills that I received, I did about 600 damage. That is pretty good. Let's go back to the garage now to do a brief recap on the vehicle itself. Let's do a brief recap on the PD2. This vehicle, it is relatively mobile enough, have good frontal armor if you can take advantage of it, with the flak gun that can easily 1 to 2 clip kill a enemy tank. If you play towards the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses, you can do quite well in this tank. I hope that you learn a thing or two about how to use the PD2 properly. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, and even follow my channel as well. Any positive feedback on how to improve my channel would be greatly appreciated as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone!